Hello and welcome to our video. It's Ultimate Road to Gamer 19,000, and I am here today to kind of discuss with you all a problem that I've noticed in D&D 5e. It's called the multiclassing issue. Why would you ever stay as a pure fighter when a level of Hexblade Warlock adds to you more than any other fighter feature possible? Before this video starts, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, let's get right into this issue. So first of all, you might be asking, why would someone who's playing a fighter wanna get earlier level features of like a Hexblade Warlock? That makes no sense. Wouldn't the later fighter features be much stronger than the earlier Warlock features? Well, you'd be pretty damn wrong. The Hexblade Warlock, which is a very popular multi-class, even if you have a piss poor charisma or like a 13 charisma, is still really powerful because once per short rest, you can get Shield, which is a +5 to your armor class, or Wrathful Smite, which adds some pretty nice damage. And also, when you curse a target, you deal extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus, crit on a 19 or 20, and if the cursed target dies, you get some HP back. Looking at all of those benefits, it really makes you think, wow, maybe I should just take a Hexblade Warlock dip. And even then, when you look at something like the Paladin requires a strength and charisma to kind of work on its own. But if you multi-class into Hexblade Warlock, suddenly that strength requirement of yours isn't as daunting. Suddenly, you're less multi-ability score dependent and really only care for your charisma and constitution. So, if you're playing a paladin, which highly benefits from having a good charisma thanks to aura protection, why wouldn't you just take one level of Hexblade Warlock, or maybe even three if you're using a two-handed weapon, and just attack permanently with your charisma, get stuff like the shield and Wrathful Smite spell, and also some really broken melee spells such as Armor of Agathis, which basically just if anyone hits you, they take a bunch of cold damage, or you can get stuff like Hex, which gives you even more damage, Unseen Servant, which can overall just be nice. So why wouldn't you take one level of Warlock, or heck, maybe even three, to get stuff like Cloud of Daggers, Darkness, you only do a Devil Sight build, Flock of Familiars, Hold Person, Invisibility, Mind Spike, Misty Step, Shadow Blade, Shatter. As you can see, suggested, really powerful spells that if you take three levels of Hexblade Warlock, probably will serve you better for your whole career than any high level paladin feature. So now you're like, okay, that's only three levels. You're still gonna be mostly a paladin. So you're level 9 by now. You got your aura protection, you have your Hexblade Warlock, and every time you fight a battle, you always feel like you can never smite to your full potential. And it's really starting to bug you. You're playing a paladin. You want to be able to smite down all of your enemies as much as you want. I wonder if there's anything that you could do, maybe take a spellcaster that can fix that issue and provide you with really good spells and full spell slot progression and pretty good features too. Oh wait, the sorcerer exists. So now you've already taken 1 to 3 warlock levels. I mean, and you really want to smite more as a paladin. So you might as well take some more sorcerer. You might as well take some sorcerer levels. You get access to the full sorcerer spell list. You get access to Burning Hands, Catapult, Absorb Elements, a bunch of other really cool stuff. Silvery Barbs you get. So, I mean, you know, you took a sorcerer level, got some extra spell slots, and you realize if you take an extra sorcerer level, two extra, you get second level slots, which is, again, pretty damn cool. And Nard Reduce can be really good damage wise. Magic Weapon can help you out. See Invisibility, Scorching Ray can be really powerful, and since you took Hexblade Warlock levels, you can actually cast that now. But at 5 more levels of Sorcerer, you realize that right now, if you're level 9, if you took at level 6, if you took 5 levels of Paladin, you would get some features, I guess. When compared, you would get Order of Courage, because you wouldn't get an extra ASI because sorcerers would also get that if you reach level 5. You get Order of Courage. Your friendly creatures can't be frightened while you're conscious. I guess that's cool, but I mean, when compared to smiting, you get less damage. Now, you do get improved Divine Smite, which is powerful, but again, if you take more sorcerer levels, you can smite more on average, and you can do higher level smites that do more damage. So I think you should just probably stick with sorcerer levels. Plus, you can get stuff like Haste, Counterspell, Fireball, Fly. So, as you can see, I'm building a paladin, but in reality, I have no reason to take more and more paladin levels. It makes no sense for me to take paladin levels when I could just take sorcerer and just be better at smiting and be better at spellcasting. Now you might be saying, hold on, you don't get access to really good third level paladin spells. Well, if you take Divine Soul Sorcerer, you get Favored by the Gods, which is a really powerful feature, and access to the full Cleric spell list. Which, if you look at the Cleric spell list is basically just the Paladin spell list, but on a lot of substances that enhance your performance. You could get stuff like Spiritual Weapon, which now fully weaponizes your bonus action. At third level, you get stuff like Aura Vitality, um, what else? Mass Healing Word, Remove Curse, Revivify, Spirit Guardian, Spirit Shroud. And as you're starting to realize, the more and more you take less paladin levels, the stronger you're becoming. And see, that's where the main problem lies. You have zero reason to take more and more paladin levels once you've reached level 6. There you have zero reason to. Because Warlock levels just help you out much more. Sorcerer levels, again, help you out much more. And we even compared it. If you take more Sorcerer levels than you do Paladin, you will be a better support character than a level 17 Paladin if you take 6 levels of Paladin, 3 levels of Hexblade Warlock if you're using two-handed or even one, and the rest Sorcerer. You will be a better support slash Paladin-esque character than a level 17 Paladin. That is wrong. That is not okay. And let's just say you take 11 levels of sorcerer to, let's say you're taking this to level 20 for this example, you still get a metric crap ton of really nice features. I mean, 11 levels of sorcerer, you get 11 points of meta magic, which I haven't even spoken on how powerful and broken meta magic is. You get up to 6 level spells, which, I mean, if we look at really high level spells, at level 17 is when a paladin gets greater restoration. Now, at level 9 is when a divine soul sorcerer get greater restoration. So if you're 6, that's 9, that's 18. So if you delay your so basically you'll be delaying greater restoration for one level in favor of better smites, better spell slots, better everything basically. So as you start to realize that more and more, you really start to see that wow, the paladins really just don't scale as good as casters do. And I mean, hey, it has really good synergy too. I mean, they're both charisma based characters, so that's no problem. You can now attack with your charisma. So basically, everything around you is revolving around your charisma. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like obvious to just take that. Also, at level 18, you get 5th level sorcerer spells. And we can get stuff like Animate Objects, Big B's Hand, Dominate Person, Far Step, Hold Monster, Insect Plague, Summon Draconic Spirits. You can literally summon in a dragon, a Wall of Stone, or Wall of Light, or you can take those 5th level Cleric spells because you took Divine Soul and just be a better paladin. And that's just one example of that's something that can pretty easily be, you can pretty easily, not even as an optimizer, just fall down that hole of realizing that sorcerer levels overall just will help you be a better paladin. Now, well, you might be saying, okay, I see what you're talking about, and I can see that, but I need more examples. That's just one example you pulled out. Well, Let's pull out another class that I personally am really enjoying, the Rogue. So now you might be asking, okay, how can this possibly be? The Rogue has some of the best scaling in the game, right? In every couple of levels, it gets an extra D6 to their sneak attack damage, and with the subclasses such as Swashbuckler, they can get it pretty often. Yes, you are correct. I do agree with that. But when you start to look into it, you really can start realizing that taking either sorcerer or wizard levels really is just better. Okay, so now let me explain myself. Is be like, hold on, sneak attack exists. Well, let's say you're playing an arcane trickster, which is a very popular rogue subclass. Arcane tricksters are intelligence-based characters. Wonder what else uses intelligence. They're also spellcasters, so you get some pretty nice spellcasting. And I wonder what else gets spellcasting that uses intelligence. Okay, so you can probably now tie in that arcane tricksters and wizards probably fit in well. You may be saying, but wizards don't have anything that's martial focused, so yeah, I'd be getting more spellcasting, but I'd be a worse rogue, right? Well, that's where you would be dead wrong. Blade singing wizards exist. Blade singing wizards have a feature called Blade Song, which gives you an AC bonus plus your intelligence modifier, a walking speed by extra 10 feet, advantage on acrobatics checks, and you gain your constitution. And anytime you make a constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on a spell, you add your intelligence modifier. And also, you get extra attack, which is really good for rogues because more chance to land sneak attacks. And also the fact that at level 1 of planking a wizard, you get Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade, which basically just adds a metric crap ton of extra damage to rogues, which you can Green Flame Blade and Booming Blade. You can Green Flame Blade and sneak attack on the same turn. There's no reason why you couldn't. I looked it up, trust me. So the more and more you look at it, the more and more you realize, well, the arcane trickster rogue in general really benefits from having heightened spellcasting, and also you have non-limited spellcasting. You have access now to the full wizard spell list. You can add any wizard spells you want. Now you may be saying, okay, that my fault. Okay, that's a valid point. But what if I'm playing a swashbuckler rogue? Some people love swashbucklers. Me too. I love swashbucklers. Well, let's look here. They want to have a good charisma. I wonder what else wants a good charisma. Hmm. I wonder what else wants a good charisma. Okay, so their melee focus class. Okay. They probably also want a good armor class, even though they have a pretty defensive feature. But just in case they miss, they probably do want a good armor class. I wonder what else can give you a really good armor class at will without having to waste any resources. Interesting. Panache, you can basically charm a creature at level 9. I wonder what else can charm a creature at late levels or even earlier levels. I wonder if it starts with finesse, possibly. And yeah, as you start to realize if you're playing a swashbuckler rogue, just take sorcerer levels. You'll probably get more. Sneak attack gets solved by booming blade, which green flame blade will add more damage than an extra d6 of sneak attack. And also sorcerers, this time you don't have to take divine soul. You can take draconic bloodline, which gives you a heightened armor class and an extra HP. So you basically get more HP and +1 studded leather armor for free. So yeah, as you can see, swashbuckler rogues benefit from taking sorcerer levels. Also, they get sorcerer spellcasting, which you get stuff like shield, absorb elements, which again are defensive. And you get stuff like silvery barbs, which can be nice. Mage armor, which you don't even need because you have your draconic scales. So yeah, as you start to realize this, rogues benefit more from taking a wizard or a sorcerer dip. Okay, but there is no way a fighter could benefit from taking a wizard or a sorcerer dip. There's just no way. Well, if you are building a dexterity based fighter, maybe even an Eldritch Knight if you want to, taking some Blade Singer Wizard levels can greatly help you out. They can greatly make you stronger, give you, again, wizard spell casting or even enhanced spell casting, and also the fact that Blade Song is just a really powerful feature in general. But also, even if you're not charisma based, having Hex Blade still is massive for the fighter. All of its main stuff regenerates on a short rest, which fighters want to be taking a lot of short rests. They get access to the shield spell, allowing them to really increase their armor class. They get access to armor vagatus, which really just helps them overall be a better marshal, be a better tank. Hexblade's curse again is just broken. So even at 10, you still probably want to take Hexblade Warlock levels, even on the most normal fighter possible. And also, again, Blazing is good, but I think a lot of people seem to forget that there are more spellcasters out there. Druids and clerics, if you want to be wisdom based. One level of peace cleric is absolutely broken. Intimate of peace and embodied bond are some of the most broken features ever. They're very powerful. Your channel divinity is even more powerful. And yes, the cleric spell list isn't all that, but it's still powerful. Druids. Taking a little druid dip is nice. Bard. Taking a bard dip is nice. Heck, taking an artificer dip can be really beneficial. As you can see, the more and more you look at it, the more and more higher level martial features don't scale as well as spellcasting. Now, hold on. You might be saying, we haven't given us any example of any high level martial features, so how are we supposed to know that? But it's fair. So let me show you a level 9, barbarian feature. Brutal critical. Beginning at ninth level, you roll one additional weapon damage dice when determining the extra damage for a critical with a melee attack. Huh. And at level 9, spellcasters get 5th level spells. Huh. Hmm. And if you take a dip, you'll probably be around by level 9. If you take 5 levels of the original class, I'd say you'll probably be around having second level slots. So you could get stuff like Dark Vision, which can be instant advantage if you take Devil Sight, Hold Person, which can be automatic crits, Levitate, which can be really useful, Mirror Image, again, really defensive, Misty Step, a free teleport, Scorching Ray, good. Huh. And you might have the cope of saying, well, barbarians can cast spells, so you should just be a straight class barbarian. Sadly enough, a barbarian that takes fighter levels is a better barbarian than a barbarian that takes no fighter levels. As you can see, every single martial character wants to take a multi-class dip of any full spellcaster. Now you may be saying, well, you didn't mention the ranger or the artificer. First of all, the artificers want to take wizard levels. I mean, they get better spellcasting, they get blade song, they just come on, don't no come on. That's yeah. And also ranger levels. Have you ever taken past like 5 levels of ranger? They don't really scale very well. So it's better to usually just take some rogue levels. Or again, druid or cleric, which I don't see. The druid ranger, it fits thematically. Thematically it's perfect, so I would recommend it. So yeah, as you start to notice more and more, there is definitely a problem that with many characters, just taking a level of a spellcaster fully nulls everything that the higher level features get them. Now, I've complained a lot and given you many examples on why this is a problem. Now, how do you fix this problem? And honestly, it's just by giving martial characters features you wouldn't imagine giving them. In my personal opinion, if you want to fix this issue of martial scaling pretty badly, give every martial basically give every martial ability score improvements at level 6, at level 10, at level 12, 14, 16, 18. Yes, I know that is a ton of ability score improvements. They're martials. If you want them to be equal, they need feats to power themselves up to hell. The only reason why martials are somewhat near spellcasters' levels of powers is because of feats. And also, many martial classes are extremely multi-ability score dependent, so they probably could use some extra feats. Second of all, the fighters get a bunch of attacks. Everyone should get a bunch of attacks. Paladins should get more attacks. And also, paladins should probably have some features at earlier levels that allows them to smite for free, like maybe proficiency times bonus per day. It can smite as if they're using their highest level spell slot. Monks, just stop sucking. That's simple. Rangers. Maybe they have a feature which a couple times per day allows them to automatically do like take two shots for the price of one, something like that. Yes, these features sound extremely broken, but when you compare them to reality altering garbage that spellcasters have, they really seem to kind of level out. So when I talk to people, I usually tell them marshals are inherently weaker and scale really poorly because the D&D 5e team is scared of making them powerful. But when it comes to spellcasters, they seem to just kind of hand wave any balance. So overall, if you want a fix for this, homebrew. Homebrew up your marshals really broken late level features that make your characters want to stay. Dead levels, which is what they're called, such as levels where you don't get any features, completely eradicate them from martial classes. Every level, a martial should get either really good scaling or really cool feature. They shouldn't get features. They shouldn't have levels where they straight up just don't get anything. No. They levels where you just get an extra use of indomitable shouldn't exist. You should get something new, something powerful, something useful, something character defining at every single level because spellcasters do. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any tips or really cool homebrew fixes for martial characters that your DM uses and you think they're pretty cool and makes them stronger, but not too OP, but like the levels of like spellcasters, leave them down below. And yeah, that's all from your boy, OT19, signing out. Peace.